Hey guys, hope you're all doing well. Now for today's video, I wanted to go over what exactly happened after the events of the first Jurassic Park. All of this has been documented pretty well over the course of the past 22 years, but very few people know of what InGen was up to after the failure of John Hammond's ambitious dream. I don't think it's ever been laid out in a really chronological way, and because of this, I figured it'd be good to set the record straight for anyone who wants to know what took place between the first film and 1997's The Lost World. With that being said, this is the truth about what happened after the events of Jurassic Park. When John Hammond flew out of Isla Nublar with the surviving members of his endorsement team, the entire face of the company changed. No longer was there an elaborate plan to manufacture the animals and house them in a tropical Costa Rican zoo. Now, the company became dedicated to covering up its losses while it hid itself away to lick its wounds. Jurassic Park was a disaster, an expensive failure that couldn't even pass its first real inspection. InGen was in big trouble. They'd invested millions of dollars into bringing these animals back to life, and now all of their hard work had seemingly amounted to nothing more than 2 islands with a large amount of secret dinosaurs that they couldn't even profit off of. They couldn't even talk about the animals without making some sort of big fuss, thanks to the deaths that took place in 1993. Over the course of the next year, the company would shuffle about and try to reorganize itself into something that resembled moving forward and planning ahead for the future. This eventually led to the secretive cleanup of 1994, an operation that consisted of InGen personnel going back to Nublar to see what was left of their assets and find out how Jurassic Park had failed so miserably. This sweep of the island took place on October 5th of '94. And revealed a good deal of new information to the genetics company. The first important find was that the lysine contingency had failed to kill off the remaining dinosaurs. This would require further investigation. Another discerning discovery happened to be the genetic anomaly in their velociraptors. They'd known that 3 specimens were alive during the events of John Hammond's retreat, but couldn't find any sightings of active animals. What concerned the company the most was the retrieval of young raptor carcasses that were found during this time. It would appear that some of Wu's animals had successfully changed sex from female to male and had begun breeding. Still, the overall population of InGen's assets had fallen considerably in the single year that they'd been left to fend for themselves. Of the 15 Parasaurolophus that they had cloned, only 9 were shown to factually have survived into '94. A similar situation happened to the Galleys, who were previously flocking in a herd of 24 individuals before this operation. Only 9 of them remained as well. The culprit for this loss in animal value appears to be none other than InGen's star attraction, the Tyrannosaurus rex. The company gathered information that suggested it more than likely has been killing many of the herbivores on the island, and even attempting to hunt the brachiosaurs when it gets the chance. Speaking of which, one of the brachies was found dead from what the company believed to be natural causes. The animal became malnourished and died close to where the dinosaurs used to herd. A certain lame Triceratops was also found dead and dated to have passed around the time of the incident of '93. Tyrannosaur bite marks were found around the cadaver. Oddly enough, all 5 Dilophosaurs have somehow managed to survive on the island, and proven themselves quite capable of adapting to an environment of virtually no human assistance. By far, the strangest find of this cleanup has to be the discovery of 28 Compsognathus running about Isla Nublar, despite InGen never once having shipped any over from Site B. The report suggests that they managed to reach the island by hiding on cargo vessels from Isla Sorna. It appears a containment breach happened far before the visitors were called in to sign off on the park. The remains of Dennis Nedry were also found by the company during this operation. An examination into his involvement with corporate espionage began after park veterinarian Jerry Harding disclosed information in a personal report that suggested some of the embryos were stolen in an effort to sell them off to a competing company. The final bit of information the cleanup team uncovered was the unfortunate loss of their stored embryos. Apparently, the insulated pipes that transferred liquid nitrogen to the units was severely damaged during the initial espionage. The subsequent rise in temperature resulted in a total loss of all viable embryos, as well as extensive water damage to the lower foundations of the visitor center. InGen believes that mild tectonic activity from Mount Sibo could be the cause of this loss in company assets. After the cleanup took place, Dr. Malcolm would make a famous televised appearance in 1995, where he famously disclosed sensitive information about the incident that happened at Jurassic Park. This was a clear breach in Malcolm's non-disclosure agreement and resulted in company man Peter Ludlow repeatedly addressing the situation on InGen's behalf as being nothing more than wild campfire stories that misrepresented the truth about the genetics company. Due to the 1994 cleanup being a successful acquisition of valuable information, Operation Clean Sweep, which was originally designed to destroy what's left of their assets, was abandoned. And Hammond would request to avoid all further press release statements that had anything to do with Nublar or Site B. InGen would choose to abandon the islands and focus their efforts on other ventures. Of course, not everyone in the company was satisfied with this abrupt change, which eventually led to Ludlow's rise as the new CEO of the Fortune 500 company. And what happened during his tenure was documented accurately in the second chapter of this franchise entitled The Lost World. All of the information that was used to make this video can be acquired in the Dinosaur Protection Group's website, as well as the Lost World Jurassic Park's original viral marketing campaign that has been carried over into the revised canon. Personally, I'd really love to see some sort of novel or television series adapt these events for the fans, and I think I'm not the only one that would love to see that happen. The events that took place after Jurassic Park have always really fascinated me, and it's something that I think could make a really good side story in this expansive world. But what do all of you guys think about this information? Would you be willing to see it made into some sort of new story, or are you fine with just reading it in small incremental details like what's been uncovered in Fallen Kingdom's viral marketing? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments down below. Now before I go, I want to thank my game wardens, like Matthew Buffington, as well as all of my InGen executives. I'd also like to thank all of my park workers and InGen hunters as well. Yaroslav Kosmina, words can't really express how awesome it is to have you guys tell me how much you enjoy the stuff I do, and I seriously am extremely thankful for everything that you guys do to help support me. It honestly means the world. Now I'd like to thank you all for watching this video, and hope that you all enjoyed today's content. If you feel like I deserve it, I'd appreciate the like, and hope that you'll consider subscribing if you're interested in hearing from me again. I'll see you all in the next video, guys, and as always, take it easy.